I'm gonna post the link for the phone. Sorry,
Is that
you
a
can
real
hear a
cat?
cat.
Was that a cat?
Yeah, that's my cat. She's loud.
Yay!
You know, we love cats. It's
Bring
no
her on the
problem.
hangout. Yeah,
Very welcome.
Yeah.
we need more cats.
Okay. So I have tweeted now. I guess we can start then. So let me try to find the doc. So there is quite a lot of noise. I hope you can hear me still. But I'm gonna start with the issues that are going well. So at first, I guess I have a link or something. My yeah, the branding block got committed today, which is cool. Uh, Also, I guess before this week we had the expand support for link objects, which itself is not that big deal, but on as a nice thing on beside that fix on that issue, we had a new interface in Drupal core, which is called renderable interface, which is quite cool, and it has already started expanding in Drupal core, which is really cool. So, which issues are stuck or needs attention? So as first, I have issue that I haven't been working myself that much, but I think might be quite close. At least there is a green patch right now, but I was manually giving a test run for the issue, and it didn't work for me. Also, I'm a little bit worried of the API that has been created because it's a little bit complicated and it took a while to figure out how it's supposed to work. So it'd be nice to get feedback from everyone who thinks has any ideas for that. Actually, I like the David's first suggestion. It's a lot better than what we have right now. But yeah, if you have any ideas, please just comment on the issue. Then the second one is make local tasks and actions. Hooks provide cacheability metadata to make the blocks showing them cacheable. So I'm pretty much done with the issue. There is, I am having a little bit of a disagreement with Xano about the approach, but besides that, there is almost green patch, but there is the last fail that I have on the issue is something really weird because I'm adding a access object as a cacheable dependency for the block, but for some reason, when I get the access object first time, it doesn't contain the cacheable metadata at all, which is really weird. I don't know why. I don't know if it has anything to do with this issue or if it's a bug somewhere else. I've tried to be bothering Wim to take a look on that, but so far he haven't had the time for that. So if anyone else has any ideas for that, please take a look on the issue. And the next one is we have another safe markup critical issue. I don't know if everyone knows, but next Wednesday is the last day for possible release candidate release before DrupalCon. So if you have any time to help on that one, please try to help us because it's one of the last remaining critical issues, and it's quite large issue. Then the next one is another critical issue actually, which is also about Twig being used in the views. Maybe if you have time, you can provide reviews on the issue. it shouldn't be super complicated, but and also manual testing is something that could be done in that issue. And then my last issue, finally, which is the convert title page element into a block. I've been working on the issue today, but it seems like there is quite a lot of problems with the tests because we are changing the functionality, the way it works a little bit because of the fact that the render element has to return a render array. And there's some other stuff also. So, I guess that's pretty much my stuck or need attention issues. Does anyone have any idea how we could proceed with the title issue? I have a patch coming up at some point, which might fix something, but not probably everything. So, anyone else, if you have any ideas for that, please.
Yeah, on that one, Laurie, you know, one of the things that we mentioned in there was instead of using a template for the block, for the page title block, just having a page title template in Twig, which is I think what we did for the branding block, if I remember right. We did one of them like that, and I don't know if that might help with, you know, we're passing through the page.
Yeah, I don't know. So if you if you can provide any feedback on the issue, just feel free to comment there. I guess it's the next one's turn. I will turn my camera off.
Hello. Okay, so loads of stuff got committed this week. One of the JS prefix issues. We also got quite a few of the moving the CSS files to classy committed, and quite a few are still RTBC. And then a few of the usability issues that came out of the usability testing in Minneapolis. Some of those got committed, so that was good. I think David mentioned as well, but I'll also say that pretty much every moving CSS to classy patch is going to knock out all the other patches, which is a bit of a pain. But I guess like if people are around, if we could just be sharp on the rerolls, I guess, because the rerolls are very simple. It's just changing one file. It's just a list of CSS files. So I guess if we just stick on that, it won't be too bad. Okay, so stuff that I would like attention with. So this image widget Twig file never being used is blocking one of the moving CSS files to classy. So if someone who knows how to write a test for that, that would be great, because that's the only thing that's stopping that issue getting committed. So hopefully someone who can do that will do that. Next one. Removing CSS from module CSS files that should not be there. I think there's still a little bit of CSS sitting around in the module files that should really go into classy. There's some stuff like colors and other fancy stuff that you don't need, you know, for bare level. You know, like if you don't want classy, this stuff shouldn't be in there. There's a little bit of that CSS, and obviously we have a deadline of our C to move that stuff out of classy. So it'd be nice to be able to do that, and then that's a few lines of CSS, or maybe a bit more, that no one's going to have to deal with for the rest of Drupal 8, which is good. Unless you use classy, and then you want to use it. User menu hiding behind node preview bar. This one needs some opinions in. I think the way we implemented the node preview bar initially, maybe a little bit short-sighted, because it just like it's trying to act like it's part of the toolbar by sticking to the top near the toolbar, but it's actually nothing to do with the component at all. And I think it's something where we should actually move that component into the toolbar, but it needs more discussion. So bike shedding ahoy if you've got loads of time on your hands. And then that policy issue we had about not supporting core module markup is back to needs review. Still seems like there's a fair amount of discussion to have there. It's not really looking like any of the solutions we've come up with so far are that nice for people who decide to go against our advice and use Stark instead of Glassy anyway. So I don't really know what's going to happen with that. But it'd be good just, I guess, to keep having that discussion to see where we go. And then the last one is renaming all the .module.css files to just, a regular name. And if we do that and we finish the classy ones, it means that we've removed that whole .module and .theme CSS stuff, which we don't need anymore. And if we can completely remove that, that'd be cool. Then it makes the whole thing a bit less confusing. Yeah, that's it for me, really. Like, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, cool. So I think Emma was next.
Hi, I messed up the document.
Sorry, I was muted. I had a question about MAT. Like you were talking about in one of the issues, MAT is. I think that was it. So we're talking about SMACs. What is that?
The MAT stuff?
Yeah, and is that going away, or is it staying, or is it combined?
Yeah. So I think this stuff, and Morten will know more about this than me, but I can sum it up. I think during DrupalCon Sydney, John Albin and Morten and a few others agreed on this module admin theme definition of classifying the CSS. So module stuff is it's what we think of as the Stark stuff now, like the essential stuff. And that's the M. And that's the stuff that you need to have in most themes. And then the theme stuff is really just a layer on top, the icing, kind of what we think of Classy as now. And then A is the admin stuff. So that's kind of a separate thing. So now that we have Stark and Classy to have these separations, we don't need to have these names anymore. And it helps simplify the categories and the names of the CSS files, because the MAT definitions and the SMACs definitions were kind of conflicting with each other, and it was getting kind of confusing for people. So if we can just kill the MAT stuff, kill MAT, then we can just have the SMACs categories, and it becomes a lot less confusing for people. So if we can do that, it'll be great.
We do still have the admin CSS files.
Yes, we do. And I think if we have more time, we could split those up into components as well. But it's not looking like we will, so we just have to prioritize.
Is it me now?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so as people said, the branding block is now in, and that's super cool, and thank you for everyone who worked on that. All of my RTPC Barty issues were all committed yesterday night or today. It was a marvelous time. I put the title block as going well as not going so well, like stuck, because it has come a long way and people have done a lot of hard work on it. And I know Larry's working on it now, and yeah, we're going to keep going. And then things that are stuck, like I said last time, the dream markup for tabs, it's blocking a Bartik issue, which is like cleaning up tabs also, and it helps every theme, and the current patch kind of breaks most of the themes as well. So thought I'd raise that. And also if there's any other dream markup issues that I need to be aware of that I can help with, just let me know. And then because the branding block issue was committed, it freed up the header in Bartik, and that needs a completely new implementation from scratch, including the improvements that the other patch had. So yeah, that one's going to be a big fun one, and it's going to be great when it's done. And then, like I said, the title block issue. But I don't have too many critical, I really need help with things. Just please let me know if there's anything I can help with in Classy or just core or anything. Just let me know, and I will work on it. And that's all I have.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, also branding block is in. Yay. I'm kind of starting to have some more time So I have like one of Joel's patches on my list to review. If anyone else has stuff, especially like PHP Twig stuff that they want reviewed, then let me know. You can drop links in the chat or whatever, or in IRC. Looking forward to seeing most of you in Barcelona. And I think I'll probably just kind of pass because Mark, I think you wanted to talk about, unless we want to talk about it now, about the module.theme.css. I don't know if that was talked about earlier because I came in a bit late, but yeah. I've kind of just been trying to keep an eye on that in general.
We can talk about that now.
Okay. So I guess at this point, my question is like, do we think we're on the same page as far as how we're implementing them?
I think we finally have it down to a pattern that I think is agreed upon.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we all agree we're dumping it all in components.
So when I was online last night, WebCheck commit like that. They're all in this vein.
I think we lost you for a bit there, Mark. Can you repeat that
Can't
last?
hear me?
Yeah, Mark, just mute your video.
Okay.
I think that worked well last time.
Me now?
Yep.
Can you hear me? Okay. So WebCheck committed one of the moving CS files to Classy last night and noted that these will all cause rerolls every single time one of them goes in. So from her perspective, she would prefer if we could put together a mega patch that has all the moves in one. I know it's been useful having it broken up for review purposes. You know, look through one more time and get them all to the point where we're thumbs up on all of them and then make one mega patch. It's going to make it easier for us, and it's going to make it easier for the committers to get that in. And that frees up time to get other stuff in. So
that makes a lot of sense because I've already been doing a lot of re-rolls. Even like it's like as soon as one gets committed, then you have to re-roll like however many other ones. So that makes sense. And I'm happy to volunteer to help roll the mega patch unless someone else wants to. So I guess let's just focus on getting them to RTBC.
I can help as well.
What's that?
I can help review.
I can help as well in any way. I'm working on core full time this week anyway, so
Me too.
I have time.
Okay. Do you want to roll that and add it to the meta issue?
So I guess I guess we need to make sure that the core committers are aware that, or have some sort of way of knowing that maybe we don't use our DPC. I'm trying to remember what we did for Twig. If anyone remembers, maybe Joel, if you remember what we did for the mega patch.
Which one of them?
Like the template conversions. Like I know we didn't actually use the mega patch. Like Alex Pot just committed them individually, but we still had some kind of system of. I can't remember if we actually set them as RTBC. Maybe we just did that.
I think when we did the big clashing move, that was we couldn't. No, the clashing move we just grouped them together, and we still had like 2 or 3 of these groups together. We haven't moved yet. So we took things that could move logical together and tried to split it into that. But
yeah.
I want to ask WebCheck or something like that what she prefers, because I think it was to make sure that the RTBC queue doesn't go like a whole bunch of green at once and just kind of muddies up their RTBC queue. So we probably had something else like you were saying there.
Yeah.
So ask WebCheck or somebody like that about what they would prefer, so that
her preference was one patch that she could commit at once.
Yeah, but it's
I'm just trying to figure out. Go ahead, Joel.
Oh yeah, sorry. Same thing. Like the RTBC of all the other ones, what might muddy up the RTBC queue for them. That's what we're just trying to figure out. So just maybe ask WebCheck what she thinks it would be best for trying to help create that mega patch, if that would be disruptive to them or not. Just as a quick question for them.
But we don't. she may or may not be on. We don't have time to do that, actually. I don't think, to wait to get feedback, because unless she's on this...
Or anybody that's a committer can answer that. Just ask anybody on there.
I'll see now. So, oh, David. Yeah, okay, good.
We could potentially just do something like pick some kind of status that is meaningful to us and use that as our internal RTBC.
Postponed.
Something like
Postponed
that.
Closed would fix.
So close, won't fix.
The problem is if we still do that, if we do that individually, we still have to wait for those to get committed. Because it goes back into the queue.
Maybe we can use patch to be ported, because that doesn't really... You would never have patch to be ported for D8?
Yep.
Okay.
Are you saying still do them, and I'm confused, are you still saying do them individually but not do a mega patch?
Yeah, do them individually so we can review them individually, unless I'm missing something. I thought that's what we were doing, but...
I thought you were saying make a mega patch of all of them.
Sorry, what was that?
I thought you were saying make a mega patch of all the changes in one patch.
Yeah, so we would make a mega patch by combining all the smaller patches into one like Voltron patch.
Okay. That someone's going to put on the meta?
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
I mean, I don't know, like, that seems to make most sense to me, because otherwise it seems like it gets tricky. Especially if we want to have multiple people like working on them.
All right, then we can just set all the other ones to postpone then, I guess.
Yeah, or patch to be ported.
Yeah, I don't know that we can post it on the meta itself, because there's a couple children still that... Still a couple children that, like, there's the taxonomy one that I don't know, for some reason that one's stuck.
Okay, we can always make a new issue.
Yeah.
I think the system files, they're easier because they'll just go into base. We don't need to load them contextually. I think some of the other issues get trapped because we have to figure out how we load them at the right time.
Yeah, but then that's actually a good thought. So potentially we could maybe just do 2 larger patches. They're not going to be massive, but like do one for system, do one for everything else.
Yeah, that's what I was going to suggest earlier. At least put all systems together.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want, we could just do one mega patch and just test the mega patch. I think we could do it.
Okay. It's I don't know. It just
for system we could do it, right? As long as it's loading as high up as possible for system, it should be okay.
Yeah, I mean, why don't we just start with just merging all the system ones together, because that's easy, and then if we actually do that and that gets committed, there's only like 3 other issues.
Okay.
The reviewing on that one should be reviewing on these moves should be quite light, anyways. So yeah, maybe just make a patch it.
All right, that sounds like a good plan. I'm gonna note this down in the meta, I guess.
And David, you're up, I think.
Oh. Let's see, what's my update? JS prefix is down to 1 issue. Yay.
Nice.
And that one just needs review, I think. Banana is down to 3 issues. Yay. And I'm not sure if any of them are stuck on anything or they just need reviews or what.
I think they just need reviews. I'm pretty sure about that, actually.
I'm suspecting one of them is actually blocked on the JS prefix issue because that's why we need them. Since we're not done, I imagine one of them is. And we just talked about moving the theme CSS. And then the policy discussion. So yeah, anybody who hasn't already should look at the policy discussion about the things that we can commit after release. And make sure you at least understand what's going on if you don't have any particular opinions. But if you do have opinions or confusions, post them so that we can try to figure it out. It looks to me like we're not going to be able to make the changes that we want to. But I think we still have more wiggle room than we've probably had in any other release, which is good. And getting Bartik and 7 marked as internal is, I think, great. So we'll actually be able to do a lot more stuff there. I think the good news is, as I've been going through everything, all this stuff that we've been doing, moving the CSS files out of core and all that, I think we're going to end up in a position where there's actually going to not be a lot of stuff we want to do in the future because we've kind of stripped everything out. We're getting to the point where most of it's stripped out. So like I was thinking about like what CSS we might want to change in some module to fix something. And I'm going through all the core modules and like there's not a lot of CSS in here. So there shouldn't be a lot we need to change anyway. You know, like looking at templates and stuff, like there's just nothing in here, so what's there to do? I think the issue is
exactly back in LA. There's like nothing in there.
The issue we're gonna have is other things. Like if we don't get those views conversions in, would we still be able to post-release? You know, if we have to make fixes in the theme layer that then involve adding something to a template or manipulating something like that, we'd have to figure out how we can actually do that. But otherwise, I think things actually look a lot better than maybe we thought they did. And then the library override issue. That one's continuous. I'm not too worried about that one because it looks like it's getting a lot closer, and if we need to, we can just do that in 8.1. But it would be nice to have now. So that's it.
I just want to thank you, David. I just want to kind of, this should probably be its own issue, and someone let me know if this already exists, but I'm wondering if post-release it would be possible to, I mean, obviously we would want it sooner, but I'm wondering if it would be possible to add something where contrib modules could differentiate their markup and CSS for classy versus non-classy. Because like core is going to be nice and clean, but we're not, you know, contrib's going to be Wild West, I think, as far as what you end up with. So you're going to have to, I think in practice, you're going to have to remove a lot of libraries and stuff and override templates as soon as you start adding contrib stuff. So anyway, just want to mention that.
Yeah, sounds like a cool idea. But yeah, let's create issue for that. I guess it's manual then.
Yeah, good point. Right, so yeah, the branding block got in. Congratulations, everybody. We only need the title, and then we have a very clean page TPL, which is amazing. Right, so I only have 2 issues I want to draw attention to, which are the last 2 standing issues with views. First is the the theme views view fields conversion, and that needs profiling at the moment. Think we can get that in before release candidate, but we'll see. Either way, somebody has to go in there and do the profiling. I have no idea how to do that, so I wanted to mention that. And then the other one is basically a bug that was discovered while working on the theme views view field conversion to Twig. The first link is the actual bug, and yeah, it's I think Joel is working on that. But those are the only 2 things that I wanted to bring attention to. It would be great if we got those in before, so we can have a clean views twig situation in 8.0.
I'm gonna try to fix that those tests that we're working on there. I think the solution's still good as a solution for at least the taxonomy part. I don't know if we have a solution for the other bug that's in that, which probably needs a title change. But I don't have a time at this moment to tackle that one. So if anybody can jump on there, but I will as soon as I get a free moment. That's probably the next thing that I'll be tackling.
Right. So you were talking about the.
The views vendor pipeline double escaping taxonomy links.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll try to find the time for this. Maybe.
I think there's still a bug in there that needs to be resolved for the other part of that's not related to taxonomy. But there was two things that kind of got double escaped on that one.
All right. If I get to it, I'll ping you on IRC.
Okay. Cool. Same.
Right. So then. The other two that I mentioned here is not a priority. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I'm guessing we could maybe do the first one after RC1, but then again, I'm not sure. And then the second one is just really a removal of a theme function, which is not, it's an administration page, but. I worked a little bit on that just to, I just want to get rid of all the theme functions. But, I'm stuck there. I don't know where to go with it. But then again, we have probably more important things to do. So that's me.
That conversion one is a little tricky. I think last time I worked on it, there was something weird about creating a table where you have to add extra cells, and those extra cells get added in something content translation. If you turn that on as well, it adds an extra column to the table or something. So it makes it really kind of tricky, and type table doesn't do that very well. So it might even be worth just not using type table and just converting it to twig.
Really? Okay.
Almost. Right. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's extreme, but.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, whatever. I won't work on that. I'll try working on the bug that we just talked about, and then because that's obviously more important. So, other than that, if you guys need me, I don't have a lot of time, on a row. I can't spend 2 hours working on core or anything like that. But I can, spend 15 minutes rerolling something or whatever. Ping me on RSC if you need help with anything like that. And that's it.
Thanks. Okay, so first one is we got placeholders removed from that explanation part. Placeholders removed from safe markup format wherever possible. So that was nice to clean up and remove those. And the next one is we have an RTBC patch. It took me a hell of a long time to get the test working. I think I probably spent over 6 hours doing the test and 15 minutes doing the fix. So, and I had one manual test done on it that RTBC'd it, and I think a couple other people tried the same thing. And it gets rid of a Drupal render children because that fixed it. So hopefully that's a cool change. It looks like it's not really needed from my testing anyways, but it could use maybe another last look just in case I did something wrong. The other one is RTBC2, fix inline CSS. I have a feeling that might jump back at us, but I hope not. I hope it just goes in. Oh, damn. Well, there you go. While we were talking, it needs a reroll. And maybe if you want to do a reroll, there's one to maybe do, or Emma can do it after. Whoever jumps on first. The next one is make T return translation wrapper. It's getting some good headway. I think like 4 of our like split out patches on that one got committed yesterday, or 3 or something. So Stefan's been working hard to kind of make that happen, and there's a few other people that jumped in there too, and that one's cool because it makes things a little bit easier for safe markup stuff. Allows us to check to see if something's safe as well as an object, so it passes around this. Instead of passing around a string, it passes around a little object so that we can test it, and then we can check to see if it's safe, and then. Yeah. So that one I think might be critical, or might be getting close to being moved to critical, I would assume. The next one is actual critical. It's the one that was mentioned earlier by Laurie, and Mike is working on that one as well, and also the Wiener, and making good headway on that one as well. So it's kind of near completion, but there's definitely needs review, manual testing, all the nice things. It's just we have a green patch and we have lots of test coverage, so that one looks really good. So things that actually need more attention. So we went back to square one after a lot of work on trying to get rid of the placeholders in, or sorry, not getting rid of, making safe markup use XSS admin filter on the explanation point. So instead of escaping it, right now it in head it'll escape anything you put in it that's not safe inside of the explanation point will be escaped, and it'll actually escape the whole string if I remember right. And we were trying to make it just do XSS admin filter, so at least the tags would show up, even if just remove the unsafe tags and attributes and stuff. So that one got moved back to square one, which is crappy. Not really sure exactly why. I have to kind of figure that one out still, but it needs help. But it's also, I think, on the critical list. Stuff got moved around here. Oh, and then I guess somebody else that wants, if I put this is probably the one that's on Scott's list, the last one there. Move logic for safe markup format from blah blah blah. Locale translation. Is that right? Is that the one that you had on your list? Yes. Thumbs up. So yeah, anybody else could also look at that one. That one's actually a twig conversion, so it's not actually a twig one because we don't really have that much things in twig on this thing, on the call. A lot of things are related tangentially to twig, but not actually twig. So yeah, that one actually has twig stuff in there, moving stuff from the pre-process to the twig template, allowing you to control more of the actual stuff. The only thing that I did that's kind of controversial that might need some actual, I don't know, maybe some manual testing or something, is that I removed 2 item lists, type item list things, and I just made item lists in the template with twig. That's the only controversial part of it. So that removes the class, obviously removes that inline list class and all the other stuff that might be cool about an item list. It just makes a UL list. So there you go. Let's see. Mark? Or any questions first, just in case? Nope. Okay, Mark, go.
All right. Dance too. So here's my brand name block dance. Oh, I don't have video on. Right.
I think you are cutting out again. Mark.
Come on, internet.
Morton, mute yourself. How do I mute you?
Oh, sorry, yeah, I have a bulldog going ape shit here.
Hang on.
Hello, Mark. Are you back?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Yeah, so title block really needs some help on that one. We've got basically until stuff in. That's their goal, to get criticals to 0, and then announce that RC1 will be September 16th. So I don't know if we're going to be able to get the page title one in. It's tough, but it'd be really nice because it's the last weird thing that's in page template, and so it'd be a really nice consistency fix. We talked about consolidating class issue, removing the banana, working on getting those out of module code and into the template. That would be very good. Just needs a review. I'll try to review that. Libraries override, and then the browser testing one. If this is apparently not necessarily going to hold up RTBC, but I kind of came up with a testing plan to check things in browsers, and if anybody wants to help with that, that would be good. It gives us a chance to make any last fixes for things that look broken, possibly even during the release candidate cycle. So my understanding is that we might have some flexibility to get some things in during RC that are not disruptive, but they want to keep that to a minimum. So as much as we can get done before then is good. At the bottom of our front-end meeting document, I went through the list of everything people have gone through, and this is what it looks like to me is probably our list of prioritized changes that we want to get in before RC1 that aren't like necessarily criticals or things, but like we would really like to get in. If anybody sees anything that's missing from that list, WebChick did ask to get something along these lines so that the committers would have an idea of what are our top priorities of things to get in before. So if we're missing something from this list, add it, and maybe we can pass that on. Yeah.
All right, thanks, Mark. That sounds good. Yeah, I was kind of assuming with the browser testing stuff that if we did find any showstoppers, we could fix it during RC. So I haven't been paying too much attention to it, although I have been paying attention. It looks good.
Yeah, I'd like to at least get one, at least snag affected at all. We shouldn't tag RC1. Like, we really need RC1 to go out September 16th. So I might just do that myself this weekend. But if anybody else wants to, I can test on my Mac and my iPhone. If anybody has Android stuff, that'd be good to test on. So, yeah.
Does anyone here have an Android phone?
I have a few at the office.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a few issues where we're kind of blocked on maybe some Android testing.
I will bring all my devices to Amsterdam. No, Barcelona.
Yeah, let's have a mobile testing sprint on the beach.
Yes.
No, sad.
Anything else about Mark's part, or can we move to Morten? We have 8 minutes, 5 seconds left.
All right, that's how much time you have, Morten. Go.
Okay. Well, I'm still happy about the diffs, and nobody tried to re-roll it in, so that's been a big thing. Let me see here. Yeah, around the policy on RC1, Lewis came up today with I saw in the comments that actually having a Stark version in core that would be able to be backwards compatible, so we would be able to move shit out of core. And it seems like there's a discussion or a principle that needs to be set down. That's basically the only people who's going to use core as their base theme is not cases who's going to write every fucking template themselves. To me, it doesn't make any sense. I don't believe in it. Sorry, I have my daughter like John. Let me see here. The diffs in Stark and core we should look into. because we have a lot of divs that's just floating around, but that kind of we need to fix that whole policy so we can actually move them later on. Let me see. Menu classes needs the final kiss. I saw there's a comment on it. We have 2 or 3 of the templates left, of the core templates. I'm pretty sure that the P templates can be fixed pretty easy. There are some issues with the progress bar. So I remember, I know, Lewis, you did a lot of work on the original progress bar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was thinking about maybe splitting them out and saying, well, you know, the progress bar is, we can live with that not being cleaned up. It's just stupid to have stuff inside of the page template. So that would be an idea. C template is the only thing that needs is the last of the JS prefix. And as soon as that's fixed, that should be ready to go. Just a second. Oh, fucking damn it. Here, come up.
So we have 5 minutes left.
There we go. Sorry, I'm back.
We have 5 minutes.
Yeah, Netflix have chosen to take the next episode of My Little Pony in English for my daughter instead of Danish. And my idea of actually just learn that is not going to fly right now. Anyways, I mean, I'm probably going to jump in and see if we can do like a big patch on removing as many divs as possible out of what we have in core, because the core template is not really meant to be used, as I see it. And there's a lot of places where we just left a div after we cleaned out the classes. And I think it would be a good idea just to remove whatever markup that's in there. I know that Kotze did some work on it a while ago. But
yeah, I think we had one that did that already, but we probably can have another round.
Yeah, because there was something like inside of a item wrap or something somewhere that I got called in on today, because apparently there's an issue that got blocked because somebody saw a div too many, and I got called into the issue, which I'm happy about. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, and we got the patch in to remove so quick edit is not hidden inside of the which I'm very, very happy about. That was my last big thing that I had on my radar. And with 6 days left, I have to work, unfortunately, the next week, because last week I was in tax hill. I'll still be able to like come in and help on shit if it's needed. But I don't know how much time I've left. I have actually before, and I have a new presentation I have to rewrite because somebody chose to get too many patches in the last month. God damn it. For DrupalCon. Anyways, that's pretty much for me. We have the menu and the 2 last P and C templates and block IDs. I'm going to see if I can take a stab on that just for the fun of it. But I think the most important thing is that we get a policy in on post RC1 and how the relationship is going to be between Stark and Classy. And I would love to see that Stark got treated as an independent theme to backwards compatibility. I do think that's a really, really good idea. And as we all know, John Albin is maintainer of Stark, so we can push the work to him.
Real quick, for the divs killing thing, I think getting rid of like divs that are around.
You're cutting out again.
I died again.
If we have a wrapper around, it's still helpful. Then off of core. There's a lot of things like, if people want a really clean start, that's what they're going to use. So I just wouldn't make the assumption that they're never going to get used. So, anyhow.
Well, I've looked at a few templates recently, and there's only a couple I've seen that have an empty div with nothing in it, no attributes. and I think in at least a couple cases I saw, those divs were actually needed because what was printed was just text or something that has no like markup around it, so it needs some kind of container.
Yeah, that's
So
what
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think we actually have many left in core that we could actually remove.
I think there's maybe 5 or 10. It was just like being a trip to it. But I think it's more. The biggest thing right now is if we can get that policy in. I might kind of sit down tonight and do a pretty little drawing to make sure we're all on the same page. So I understand. It seems like we're talking from different points. But yeah, besides that, the P and the C template. But I don't have so much time next week because I have a whole week I need to catch up on. Unless I can get tag 1 to pay me. So I can pay my rent.
So we have 1 minute left.
Yes. Besides of that, I'm pretty fucking happy because Field is just looking awesome. So.
Is there anybody that could do the profiling on that views fields issue so we can get that one in? Anyone can volunteer?
Please.
I can do it.
I'm trying to decide who Joel's pointing at.
Yes, I think he probably I think Swedish guys. Finland.
All right, thank you.
Can you write
I'm
it
not
on the
even-
doc so I
I'm not
remember?
even sure if I can profile right now because now that we have a requirement of 0.5, my whole profiling setup is broken, and I don't even think the XHproc binary I had doesn't even work anymore.
All right, bye everybody.
All right, what are people coming to Barcelona, and should we do a meetup on there?
A what? A meetup?
Yeah, no. Should we, both me and Larry have talks Tuesday, just to like stick the head together and be like, yay, we did this shit.
So maybe on Tuesday we have it to
We have
dinner.
another hour now.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's,
So now we can do the wrap up.
yeah, Tuesday after the sessions we figure something out. Maybe even with vegan food so Katza can join. Or bring a cucumber and his magic thingy he brings out of.
Yeah.
Sludge.
Big bowls of weird stuff.
Yeah, I don't even fucking want to know.
Okay, so see you in Barcelona. Bye.
Waving
Bye.
you from
By
afar.
the way, girls,
Have some tapas for me.
Yay.
fuck yeah.
Bye.